My sister disappeared 12 years ago. Then she came back, and she hasn't aged a day. My name is Noah. I used to think the worst thing that could happen to someone was losing a sibling. I was wrong. There's something worse, losing them and then having them come back. Not as who they were, but as something else. To understand what I mean, I need to go back. Back 12 years ago, to the night my sister vanished. One of those places where people never lock their doors, where everyone waves and smiles and pretends they know everything about everyone else. My sister Emma was 17. I was 10. She was the kind of person who could walk into a room and change the mood instantly. Always laughing, always moving like she was chasing something just out of reach. But that night, something was different. We had dinner like normal. Mom made lasagna, Dad told the same story about how kids these days don't know real music, and Emma just kept staring at the clock, 9:42 p.m. She checked the time again. I remember because I asked, "Are you going somewhere?" She didn't answer me. She didn't smile. She just kissed the top of my head. A quick, almost nervous peck, and said, "Be good, buddy. I'll see you in the morning." But she never came back. Police, posters, dogs, volunteers. Weeks turned into months. Rumors became parasites in our home. She ran away. She had a secret boyfriend. She got involved in something. She's dead. Mom cried every night. Dad drank. I grew up in a house, haunted without a ghost. Eventually, everyone moved on. Except us. We lived in a frozen moment no one else could see. Until 2 weeks ago. I was asleep when someone started pounding on my apartment door. Not knocking. Pounding. Like they were desperate. Or terrified. I stumbled out of bed, heart racing, grabbed a baseball bat and opened the door, and the world stopped. It was her. Emma. Same face. Same freckles. Same tiny scar on her chin from when she fell off her bike at 12. But she hadn't aged a day. Not one single day. She still looked 17. Her clothes were dirty like she'd crawled out of the woods, and her hair was tangled, damp, and covered in leaves. Her eyes. God, her eyes. Were wide, frantic, and darting around like she expected something to jump out at her. "Noah," she whispered. "Please let me in." My brain couldn't process anything except that one word she said. Noah. My name. Her voice. 12 years later. I stepped aside and she rushed in, slamming the door behind her and pressing her back to it, breathing hard like she'd been running for miles. "They know I'm here." Her first words to me after 12 years. Not "I missed you." Not "I'm alive." Not "Where's Mom and Dad?" Just, "They know I'm here." Her hands were shaking. She kept scanning the room like she expected shadows to move. I had 1,000 questions, but all I could manage was, "Where have you been?" She looked at me like she was in pain just thinking about answering. I can't say. Not yet. It isn't safe. I noticed her wrists. Bruised, scraped like she'd been tied or dragged. She saw me looking and pulled her sleeves down fast. My voice cracked. Mom and Dad, they. Her face twisted, and she shook her head sharply. "Don't. I know. I know they're gone." They died 3 years ago. Never knowing what happened to her. She wiped her face, refusing to cry. "You live here alone." I nodded. She exhaled shakily like that was both a relief and a curse. "Good. That'll buy us time." Nothing she said made sense. Us? Buy time? They know I'm here. Who were they? I asked again, louder this time. "Emma, where were you?" She stared past me toward the window, then whispered. "Somewhere you can't imagine. Somewhere I should never have gone." Her voice broke. "No one leaves. No one ever leaves." I felt cold creep up my spine. "Then how did you?" "I didn't escape." She swallowed hard. I was let go. That phrasing, "let go," made my stomach twist. Like she wasn't free. Like she was released with a purpose. Her breathing sped up. "They're close." I froze. "Who? Who's close?" She backed away from the door, eyes locked on it, whispering frantic and fast. "You have to listen to me. Don't trust anyone. Don't talk about me. Keep the lights on at night. And if you ever hear someone calling my name..." She grabbed my arm so hard her nails dug in. "Don't answer." Her grip hurt. Her voice dropped to a trembling whisper. "They imitate." Every instinct I had screamed that she was traumatized, paranoid, hallucinating. Something. She needed help. Police. Doctors. Something. But then I heard footsteps in the hallway. Slow. Heavy. Deliberate. Emma froze. Her eyes went wide with pure terror. Not fear. Terror. She mouthed. "Don't move." The footsteps stopped right outside my door. And then someone. Or something. Whispered. "Ma. Noah." I swear to you. It wasn't a person's voice. It sounded wrong. Like a recording of human speech played underwater, stretched, warped. Emma shook uncontrollably, tears running down her face. She pressed her hand over her mouth to stay silent. Another whisper. Come back. My heart was pounding so hard I thought it would explode. The thing on the other side of the door dragged its finger slowly across the wood. Long, scraping strokes. Back and forth. Back and forth. Emma squeezed her eyes shut. I could see her counting her breaths silently, like she'd done this before. After what felt like hours, the scraping stopped. Silence. Then the footsteps continued down the hall and faded away. Emma collapsed onto the floor, shaking. I knelt beside her, but she jerked away like my touch burned her. We don't have much time, she whispered. They followed me. They always follow. Then she looked right at me. And for a split second, I swear her eyes weren't her eyes. They were pitch black. Blink. Gone. Back to normal. I stumbled backward. Emma, what happened to you? She hugged herself and whispered. You don't want to know. But she was wrong. Because whatever nightmare she'd lived in just walked up to my door. And part of her, whatever part had those black eyes. I wasn't sure it ever left that place. After the voice outside the door, she sat on my living room floor, knees to chest, staring at the entrance like she expected it to breathe. Every light in the apartment was on. Bathroom light, kitchen light, closets, even the oven light. At 5 a.m., I said what anyone would say. Emma, you need to rest. She didn't even look at me. There was no rest where I was. Her voice sounded hollow, heavy, like she'd swallowed a decade of nightmares. I sat beside her. I needed answers, even if they broke me. Where were you? Silence. Then she whispered. We called it the silent place. But silence is a lie. It watches. It listens. It repeats. Her eyes glazed over, lost in memory. Or trauma, or both. It doesn't let go. It doesn't forget. Then she grabbed my wrist suddenly. Ice-cold fingers, trembling. And it follows. I forced the story out piece by piece, like pulling teeth from someone screaming. 12 years ago, she left the house at 9:42 p.m. She wasn't alone. I thought it was a friend, someone I trusted. Who? She wouldn't say. She followed them into the forest behind our childhood neighborhood. We lived on the edge of town, near miles of old dark woods. They walked deeper and deeper until the houses disappeared and the night changed. There was a door, Noah. What kind of door? Not one people build. One that finds you when you're ready, or when you're stupid enough. Her voice cracked. I didn't open it. They did. Her hand pressed to her mouth, shaking with guilt. And I stepped through. She tried describing it. Tried explaining a place that wasn't a place. It was endless, but confined. Silent, but full of voices. Empty. But you're never alone. You hear footsteps you can't outrun. You see faces that aren't faces. Her breathing grew ragged. It copies what you fear. It wears it like skin. A chill ran through me. How long were you there? She laughed. Not a happy laugh. A cracked, losing your mind laugh. I lived a lifetime there. Maybe 2. Maybe none at all. Every moment felt like forever. Every forever felt like a moment. She looked at me. Desperate, pleading. I didn't mean to come back. I didn't escape. It let me go. Why? She didn't answer. She couldn't. I offered her water. A blanket. Something human. Something normal. She flinched. Normal hurts. At first, I didn't get it. Until her skin started blistering. Tiny red patches forming under the kitchen light. Like she was sunburning from electricity. Emma, don't turn them off, she whispered. Just don't touch me right now. Her voice trembled like a child begging not to be hurt. I sat there frozen, watching tiny burns fade. Like they never happened. Her eyes locked onto mine. Sharp, alert. Noah, are you real? My throat closed. What? What kind of question? Answer me. Her voice was sharp, panicked. Say something only you would say. I stared. Shocked. Confused. You used to steal my cereal marshmallows when you thought I wasn't looking. She froze. Then she smiled, a real broken smile. Okay. Good. I shook my head. Emma, why would you think I'm not real? Her smile vanished. Because there, it wore you too. Cold crawled up my spine. She pulled her knees tighter. It whispered like you. It begged like you. It cried like you. And sometimes it sounded exactly like you. I swallowed hard, voice shaking. You know I'm real now, right? She didn't answer immediately. Then, I want to. And somehow, that hurt more than if she'd said no. Not pounding this time. Soft. 3 taps. Slow. Familiar. Emma went rigid. I checked the peephole. It was my neighbor, Mrs. Hernandez, 70-something, sweet. Brings me cookies on holidays. Normal. Safe. I exhaled, hand on the door. Emma's whisper hit me like ice water. Don't open it. It's just misses her. No one knocks twice in one night. Her voice trembled with a kind of certainty you don't argue with. Another knock. Same rhythm. Tap, 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 tap. Then, Nua? Sweetheart, her voice sounded right. Perfect. Too perfect. Emma shook her head violently, whispering, "It's learning you." I felt sick. Maybe she hears voices. Maybe she's paranoid. Maybe she's wrong. My brain tried to reason. Then the voice outside changed. Not Mrs. Hernandez. Not human. Let her speak to Uus. Emma backed away from the door like it radiated heat. Low, scratching sounds traced the wood. Like nails. Too long. Too sharp. I held my breath. Silence. I forced my voice steady. "Emma, if it knows where you are now, why hasn't it taken you back already?" She stared at me. Expression empty. Like she already knew the answer. Because it doesn't need to. She touched her chest. It already took something. We sat awake until sunlight came through my blinds. Emma didn't move until she saw daylight. Then something strange happened. She relaxed. A fraction. The terror eased only slightly. Daylight slows them. Them. Plural. Every instinct in me screamed to call someone. Police. A hospital. Anyone. But something held me back. What if she wasn't delusional? What if calling help brought them instead? At noon, she insisted we leave. We can't stay in one place long. They trace memory. That sentence will haunt me forever. We walked through town. Me paranoid with every step, her scanning shadows like she expected them to grow arms. People stared at her clothes, her hair. Some recognized her. One woman gasped, hand over mouth. Emma Price? But that's not possible. Emma grabbed my sleeve and whispered, "Keep walking." A car drove by slowly, the driver staring too long. Emma stiffened. "Don't look back." I did. The car was gone. Just gone. Vanished between one step and the next. My skin crawled. "Emma, what happens if they catch you?" Her face went hollow. "They don't bring you back twice." She led me to the town library. It doesn't like places of memory. We sat at an old wooden table. She traced her finger in circles, whispering like she was reciting a ritual. Paper remembers. Ink anchors. Names bind. Then she wrote something on a scrap of paper and pushed it to me. It said 4 words. "Don't let me go." Her hand shook so hard the letters were crooked. "Promise me." I promise. I didn't hesitate. I should have. Her shoulders loosened, like she'd been holding the world up herself, and I just took one hand. Then she whispered, "If I change, run." I felt my blood turn to cement. Change how? She looked up at me, and for a flicker, her pupil stretched. Vertical, like a slit. Then normal again. You'll know. Someone watched us between the shelves. A tall man, too, still head tilted slightly. Just watching. I nudged Emma, whispering, "Don't turn around quickly, but someone is staring." She didn't turn at all. She closed her eyes. Describe him. Tall. Gray coat. Old. Is he smiling? I looked again. Not smiling. His mouth was just open. Wide. Too wide. Like he forgot how to close it. His mouth. She stood up so fast her chair tipped. "We need to leave. Now." We walked out calmly. Not running. Running meant pray. Halfway down the steps, I looked back. The man was at the window, face pressed to the glass, mouth still open, and he raised one finger, slow pointing at Emma. Then dragging the finger across his throat, she grabbed my shoulders, shaking. "Noah, listen. There are rules." She recited them like commandments. "Don't answer if you hear me call from outside. Lights on at night. Bright ones. Don't trust a face that waits too long to blink. Never follow footsteps into silence. If I say run, don't look back." I swallowed hard. What now? She looked around like the air could betray us. Now we find the door, not to go back. Her voice made that clear. To close it. Before we moved, she asked, "Noah, did you ever see something as a kid you weren't supposed to see? Something you convinced yourself wasn't real?" I froze. Our backyard. Age 7. A figure in the tree line, tall. Watching. I told myself it was a memory glitch, a dream, child imagination. Her face went pale. It didn't choose me first. Her voice was barely a whisper. "It chose you?" I used to think fear was loud, screaming, running, heart pounding like a drum, but true fear, the kind that sinks into your bones, it's quiet, slow, patient. And that's the kind that followed Emma back. We didn't run. Running draws attention, that's what she told me. Instead, we walked like we had somewhere to be, like nothing was wrong. Like we weren't being hunted by something that wore human faces like souvenirs. Every time I glanced behind us, I expected to see the man from the library window. But the street was normal. Cars. People. Dogs. Life going on like the world wasn't bending around us. Emma tugged my sleeve. Don't look back too often. It notices curiosity. I swallowed and nodded. We moved quickly, but not fast. Purposeful. Controlled. Then we reached the edge of the woods. The same woods she disappeared into 12 years ago. Seeing them as an adult felt different. As a kid, trees are magical. Mystical. Places where anything could exist. And that's exciting. As an adult, you realize anything existing isn't always a blessing. The air felt wrong. Still. Too still. Like the world knew we were trespassing somewhere reality thinned. Emma stopped just before the tree line. Before we go in, you need to know something. She turned, face pale, eyes dark with a truth she hated holding. The place I went isn't hell. Hell is honest. That place is reflection. I frowned. Reflection of what? She looked at me like the answer was obvious. Us. The things we hide. The things we fear. It looks at you until you break and show it the pieces. Her fingers dug into my arm. Once it has a piece of you, it doesn't give it back. I whispered, "Did it take something from you?" She nodded. "It took my time, my sleep, my face some nights. Sometimes my thoughts aren't mine. Sometimes I feel it thinking through me." She shivered. I don't remember what silence sounds like. I haven't heard real silence in 12 years. A bird chirped in the distance. Emma flinched violently, like the sound hurt. Not silence. Never silence. We stepped into the woods. My breath misted even though it wasn't cold. Emma immediately reached into her pocket and pulled out chalk. Old, crumbling, white chalk. She began drawing symbols on trees as we passed. Loops, lines, a crescent, a circle with a slash through it. Anchors, she whispered. Marking our path so we stay on this side. This side of what? Her voice dropped. The seam. The word made my stomach twist. We walked deeper. The forest didn't sound right. No birds, no wind. Just our footsteps. Then another set of footsteps joined ours. Slow. Mimicking. Matching. I froze. Emma didn't even look back. Keep walking. Someone's behind us. No. Her voice was steel. Something is practicing. She explained while we walked. They don't hunt by sight. They hunt by memory. They learn you first. Your voice. Your steps. Your habits. Your fear. A twig snapped behind us. Emma didn't flinch. It doesn't know us perfectly yet. If you look at it, you teach it more. My skin crawled like ants under it. Quietly, I asked, "What do they want?" Her answer chilled me. To replace. Replace. Not kill.
Replace.
We reached a familiar clearing. Familiar because I played here as a kid. There was an old, storm-fallen tree, mushrooms growing from its bark, and past it, a dip in the ground. Like a crater. Shallow. Too perfect. Emma stared at it, trembling. This is where I crossed. It didn't look like anything. Just dirt. Leaves. Grass. But the air above it shimmered faintly, like heat distortion on asphalt. Not normal. Not natural. It's weak now, she whispered. Fading. But still hungry. I stepped closer. Emma yanked me back so hard I stumbled. Do not stand on it. Her voice cracked like a whip. The ground remembers weight. It remembers who belongs. My chest tightened. We're here to close it. She nodded. Before it finishes learning the world. That sentence should never exist. Wind rose from nowhere. Leaves swirled. Shadows stretched. Then, Noah, my heart stopped. The voice drifted from behind us. Soft, distant, wrong. Except this time, it was my mother's voice. But my mother was dead. I froze in place. Emma grabbed my hand. Don't answer. Don't turn. Don't breathe loud. The voice grew clearer. Closer. Sweetheart, please, help me. My lungs burned. My mind screamed to look, to run, to do something. Then a second voice joined it. My own voice. Emma, please, I need you. Hearing my own voice behind me was like stepping outside my body. Emma squeezed my fingers painfully tight. It knows you now. How? You looked for comfort in your head. It saw it. The voices faded, but the forest stayed wrong. Finally, quietly, I asked the question I had been avoiding. Who took you to the door 12 years ago? She didn't want to answer. I saw it in her face, but lies feed the things here. So she told the truth. Someone I loved. Someone who wasn't themselves anymore. Her voice shook. They thought I could help them close it. They were wrong. I wasn't strong enough. I whispered. Who was it? She lowered her head. Dad. The world tilted. No. Dad would never. He didn't know it was him anymore. It wore him. He thought he still had control. Tears filled her eyes. He tried to stop it from choosing you. Silence. Cold. Crushing. He sacrificed me to save you. I staggered back, heartbeat like gunfire. Dad tried to save me. Emma paid the price. My vision blurred. Emma caught me before I collapsed. He loved you. He didn't know it would take my time. He thought I'd come back in hours. Then she whispered. I was gone to him for 64 years. Her face, 17 forever. Her mind, a lifetime old. She was a child and an elder trapped in one body. Something moved in the corner of my eye. Tall. Thin, shifting wrong. Emma saw it too. It's early. Her voice trembled. It shouldn't be able to cross yet. The shape leaned between trees, like it melted into the space. Then something worse happened. It blinked into existence 20 feet closer. Not walked. Not stepped. Appeared. Nearer. Then again. 10 feet. My knees buckled. Emma shoved chalk into my hand. Draw a circle around us. Now. I dropped to the ground, fingers shaking, scraping chalk against dirt. The thing flickered again. 5 feet away. Too tall. Arms wrong length. Head cocked like it was studying us. Then its face changed. It became Emma. A perfect copy, except its smile was too wide. Noah, it whispered in her exact voice, "You're tired. Let me help." I drew the last line of the circle. The creature hit an invisible barrier and jerked backward like a puppet on a snap string. Then it looked at me, all mimicry gone. Not human. Never human. Its head twitched, jaw unhinged, neck stretched like rubber. And in a voice that sounded like every voice I ever loved speaking at once, it said, "Soon." Then it melted back between the trees, sucking sound like breath being stolen. Emma grabbed my arm. The circle buys minutes, not safety. I finally asked, "Why did it choose me first?" She looked at me, haunted. "You saw it when you were 7. You thought it was imagination. It wasn't. It marks who notices. Who questions?" My stomach flipped. So I'm marked? Yes. Tears stung my eyes. Then what's the point? We can't win. Emma cupped my face. Tender, broken, desperate. We don't have to win. We just have to shut the door before it finishes learning us. Her voice lowered to a tremor. Because once it knows enough, it won't need the door. The forest fell silent. Too silent. Then I heard footsteps again. Dozens this time. Circling. Learning. Copying. And then, the worst sound yet. My voice whispering from the dark. "Emma, you promised not to leave me." Emma's breath hitched, because the thing didn't just imitate me now. It imitated our childhood memory, word for word, the night before she disappeared. I had said that exact sentence. She squeezed my hand until our bones ground together. "We don't go home tonight. Not ever. Not until it's sealed." "Where do we go?" She pointed deeper into the woods, toward the shimmer, toward the crater, toward the seam, back to where time breaks. My blood ran cold. "You said you wouldn't go back." She didn't look at me. I lied. There's a kind of silence that isn't empty. It's full. Full of breath you can't hear. Full of eyes you can't see. Full of things waiting to exist where they don't belong. That's the silence we walked into. Back toward the place that took Emma. Back toward the seam in the world. And even though I didn't want to admit it, part of me remembered this path. Not from childhood. From dreams. I had walked here in sleep, long before this night. Maybe I had been chosen long before Dad tried to stop it. Maybe it always wanted me. Emma didn't look at me. Not once. She kept her eyes forward, steps precise, leaving chalk symbols behind like breadcrumbs for reality to follow. I tried to keep my voice steady. "You don't have to do this." Her answer was small, broken. "I already did this. Over and over. I just have to do it right this time." Something in her tone made my stomach drop. "What do you mean this time?" She didn't answer. We reached the dip in the earth, the place the door lived. Now the air shimmered violently, like the world was glitching, like the forest was trying to remember what shape to hold. Emma knelt and placed both palms on the dirt. Her voice trembled. "It's thin. Too thin." I crouched beside her. "Tell me how to close it." Her eyes lifted to mine. Old eyes in a teenager's face. "It needs what it took. Your time." She shook her head. "My place." The words hit me like stone. "You have to go back in." Her silence confirmed it. "No. There has to be another way." "There isn't. Then I'm going with you." She looked at me then. Really looked. Sad. Proud. Already grieving. "No, Noah. That's what it wants." Leaves rustled. Branches snapped. Something moved fast through the trees. Emma clenched my hand. "Don't react. Don't give it form through fear." But my body betrayed me. Heart racing, breath shaking. The air thickened. Heavy. Wrong. Then, Noah, my mother's voice again. Softer this time. Sweet. Familiar. Perfect pain. I shut my eyes. "Don't answer. Don't answer." Then the voice shifted. Lower. Deeper. Familiar in a way that stabbed my chest. "My father." "Son?" Let her do what I couldn't. Emma's breath hitched. She looked like a child again. Scared, lost, hurting. Don't listen, she whispered. But I did. Because hearing Dad say son again after all these years shattered me. And the thing heard that crack. Pain is an opening. A shape formed in the clearing. First shadow, then limb, then face, not Dad. Not really. A puppet wearing his outline, wearing his voice. I did my best. Let her go back. Let her finish what I couldn't. Emma choked on air. It's lying. The imitation smiled. Too smooth. Too perfect. Do you really want her to live like this? Broken? Half here? Half there? My throat tightened. The creature knew the exact words to poison me with. I whispered, Emma, what if? No. Her voice cracked like lightning. If you doubt, you feed it. If you hesitate, you open it wider. The false dad tilted his head. He's already marked. He can take your place instead. Emma flinched. The world pulsed. Something ancient pressed against reality. Trying to step fully into this world. I felt it behind my bones. Hungry. Curious. Waiting to wear my voice forever. Emma grabbed my face with both hands, forcing my eyes to hers. Her voice shook with terror and love and rage all at once. Do you know why I came back? To escape. No. Her nails dug into my skin. I didn't come back for me. I came back to anchor you so you don't get taken. You were chosen first. Dad just delayed it. Emma, you are the door it wants. The world fell out beneath me. Not her. Not Dad. Me. I was always the target. She was just collateral. A shield. A sacrifice. 12 years stolen from her so it could learn me. Voices filled the trees. Hundreds. Thousands. All versions of me. Of Emma. Of Mom. Of Dad. Laughing. Crying. Whispering. Come back. Stay. Help me. You promised. Don't leave me. Faces formed between branches. Flickering. Glitching. Stretching. Emma pulled something from her pocket. A knife. Old steel. Blackened with age. Marked with symbols. This is the way. She pressed the blade to her palm. I grabbed her wrist. No, we can find another way. She yanked free. Tears streaked her cheeks. I'd die 1,000 lifetimes before I let it take you. Then she sliced her palm open. Blood hit the ground. The earth shuddered. The door pulsed, rippling like a heartbeat. The air screamed without sound. And the seam began to close. Slow, painfully slow. Like reality dragging a wound shut. The creatures shrieked. Voices warped. Shadows writhed. One of them lunged. Emma stepped in front of me. The shadow hit her, through her. She gasped, body arching. Eyes rolled white, something tore from her chest. Not flesh, but light. Memory. Years. Something sacred. She screamed. And the world screamed with her. Her voice layered. Young, old, endless, broken. Go. I couldn't move. I couldn't leave her again. But she shoved me back. Last strength, last breath of human will. Don't let it have you. Live. The ground beneath her split like paper. The seam yawned open, pulling her in. She didn't fight it. She let it take her. For me. As she was dragged into that impossible dark, Emma looked back at me. Not afraid, peaceful. Free. And she whispered, not spoken, but placed in my mind. I got to grow up after all. Then the door sealed. Reality snapped back. Silence. No voices. No shadows. No shimmer. Just forest. Just grief. Just me. I crawled to the place she vanished. Dirt under my nails. Heart in pieces. I called her name until my throat bled. Until my voice broke. But the forest stayed still. She was gone. For good this time. And I knew, deep and cruel, that she saved the world from something it wasn't ready to face. Saved me from becoming the door. I returned home wrecked. Shaking. Silent. Empty. I turned on every light like she told me. Sat in the middle of the floor. Then, sometime around dawn, 3 soft taps at my door. Tap. 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 Exactly like the first night. My blood froze. And a voice came through, soft trembling, familiar in a way that almost broke me. Noah. It's me, Emma's voice. Very quiet. Very scared. Please let me in. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. Because Emma taught me one last rule. If you ever hear someone calling my name, don't answer. The voice tried again. More desperate, closer to tears. Noah? I came back. I promise. It's really me. And my heart shattered all over again because I wanted to believe her. God, I wanted to. But belief is a doorway, and I will not open doors anymore. So I whispered back into the silence, I love you. Goodbye. The thing outside went silent. Then it walked away. Slow, disappointed, learning. And in the quiet after, I finally understood. The door was closed. But the silent place never stops wanting, and I must never answer again.